Councillors, the next item is in relation to the Metro, the South West Metro. We know it's underway. We're getting emails all the time about certain closures, but it's an important rail link between Sydenham and Bankstown that is going ahead. And we know with all issues, there are issues that unexpectedly arise, and this project is no different. I want to make it quite clear from the outset that Council supports a properly built and resourced Metro if it meets our requirements and we realise the enormous potential and investment it can bring to our city. But I'd also like to assure the community that Council has their best interests at heart to ensure that this project is delivered in line with community expectations. In the last couple of weeks, Council prepared and sent a submission to Sydney Metro calling for an independent architect to review the design of the service buildings being proposed along the route Sydenham to Bankstown. This submission followed concerns by councillors and some members of the public, which I have met with, that are living near to these proposed service buildings, where there will be one at every station. Separately, the exhibition and public engagement over the new look design for Bankstown Station has also just ended. Council and the community were presented with a slick and glossy presentation, which included tree-lined walkways, an outdoor open plaza area, and for the first time in 100 years, pedestrians will have access to both sides of Bankstown. These are all significant improvements to the original design proposed by Sydney Metro. Now, while we fully support these changes, I now have some serious concerns about the station project after hearing that an alternative design to the station buildings were presented to the design review panel. These are clearly inferior and designed to cut costs. Not something we, or indeed the community, have not seen, we haven't agreed to it, and not something that we would support. So councillors, tonight I propose we write to Sydney Metro, to the CEO and to the Minister for Transport, Minister Constance, seeking clarity about the latest design and the intention behind it. It is in all our interests to ensure that there are no downgrades. It's been downgraded enough. There are no downgrades to the current design, and that the proper investment and quality design is delivered for the benefit of our community. Councillors, I move this Mayoral minute. All in favour say aye. Aye. I declare that carried.
In an adequate amount of time. I acknowledge they have to do the work. They need the space for the work they're doing, but their treatment of the community is not good enough.
I totally agree, Councillor Isler. I've met with a number of residents also, and the fact that they sell a glossy pamphlet that is not the case because they change it after they have the community consultation, I think is deceptive and quite rude actually to our community. I mean, we're not silly here. We understand what's going on and that these things need to be built. But you can't go and pretend that things aren't buildings, these buildings aren't going to be a certain height by putting a tree on a montage in front of it and think that people aren't going to notice. I think it's important that especially when these buildings are going next to residential homes where people live, people sleep, people raise their families, that they deserve to be told the truth, and when they consulted with, to be taken seriously and trying to work out a way through consultation to get the best result for the community, not to just nod and wink and smile to the residents by pretending that you're consulting when you're in fact just ticking a box to say that you have consulted and go ahead and redesign and do things that for the benefit of Sydney Metro, where they get to cut costs. Because I can assure you, when this was happening in the northwest of Sydney, when the community was consulted over there, they were listened to. Because all those buildings that we're going to have to live with were put underground, out of sight. Didn't have to know that they were there. But unfortunately, we never get the same treatment by this government.